G'day guys, S1ippery Jim here, bringing you some Horde 2.0, and this is Insane Difficulty, and I'll be showing you the very last wave, wave 50. I did play the entire waves 1 through 50 solo on Insane Difficulty, and I can tell you it was extremely difficult and extremely challenging. This new Horde 2.0 is much more difficult than original Horde from Gears of War 2, I can tell you that right now. Now, you may have watched the first part of this series in which I showed you 3 or 4 of the boss waves from the waves prior to this, 10, 20 and I think 40 I showed you. Some of the tactics there, so I'm not going to explain all of the same sorts of things to the strategy that I'm using, but just a reminder that you want to be camping up the top of this hill and using the map trenches here. Now, you may notice that the boss wave that we've got for wave 50 is the berserkers. So with berserkers, you're going to get at least 2 berserkers in the wave. Just to recap how the spawn system works and why this is important. Now, first thing you need to know is past about wave 25, 26 onwards, you're going to get the enemy with such high accuracy and such high damage that you're going to get them with the ability to snipe you and get headshots on you with one shot from a bolt-on pistol, which will kill you from across the map. So in fact, probably the most dangerous enemy is the elite grenadier, and you will get killed by them if you're not careful, if you're popping your head out like I'm doing here. Just you could just pop your head out once and they will kill you from across the map using their bolt-on pistols. So it's important to hide behind the cover here, to blind fire the enemies where you have to, and use your active reloads to get increased damage. Now, normally in say waves 48 and 49, in this particular game were probably much more difficult than this final wave 50, and that is all due to how the spawns work and the types of enemies that you'll get. And I'll explain this a little bit. Basically, the higher the value the enemy in terms of the dollars that you win once you kill them, the higher the value, that means that there is a certain value cap, both at any time, given time on the map, and also for the entire wave. So what that means is, at this point in time, there's a certain dollar value in total beast value that can be in the map at one time. So if you've got a high value locust beast like the berserker as we have at the moment, in fact there's 2 in the map, you just can't see the other one because it's around the side, that means that there's not going to be a very high value left over for other locust beasts to be on the map at this point in time. So you're probably going to have 1 or 2 very small locust beasts as well as these 2 guys on this map at the moment. One is probably going to be down in the cave, and you're probably going to get 1 other guy out front here where they can potentially attack you. Now, if you can see just to the left here, what we have is a mauler. So I'm not going to try and take him out, because it's really ideal to have him sitting there, because maulers are not going to be shooting at you for a start. They're going to be absolutely no danger to you whatsoever over and across the map there, the way that an elite grenadier or you know, a Theron guard with a boom shot, with a torque bow, or you know, a boomer or a grinder or something like that that can shoot at you is going to be. So we'll just leave him there, and that will mean that we won't have to worry about any elite grenadiers or anything else sniping us while we take out these berserkers. Now, once the berserker dies, what will happen is another berserker will spawn in until the total dollar value of the beasts is too low for it to appear again. And once that happens, we'll just be getting the lower value beast spawning in its place. Now, berserkers are much easier to take out if you can use a scorcher like a flamethrower and torch them up, light them on fire, and then shoot them. You'll take them down much easier, and that's usually the best practice to follow. But because I'm playing solo here, I'm just going to go the brute force attack and just keep shooting him until he dies. And that will take a long time, but we will get there, and and we'll be able to do that even from across the map like I'm doing now without setting him on fire. So with berserkers, when I'm camping in this exact spot here that I'm not moving from at all, they will stay across the map and they won't charge you because as a locust beast goes, they're basically all partially blind. They have very, very limited eyesight and they won't know where you are if you stay in this one spot. However, there's also a kind of weird effect to camping in this spot, because if I move to the right even a little bit, say a foot or two, the berserker will then start slowly approaching and then charging us. So I'm just going to stay in this one spot until I take out all the berserkers, and then we take out that one there, and as you can see I get another one spawn in exactly the same spot at the same time. So I'll just be continuing to do this and taking this one down the same way as well. Now, talking about the fortifications as well, you can see down the front there where you get most of the enemies that will charge you. They'll come in the front way below that where that crane is. So I've got the second from highest level of barrier set up there with the laser, the blue laser barrier. Down below where the sandbags are, there's an exit from the cave underneath, and I have set up the highest level of barrier on that one, the red laser barrier. To the left, I believe I have a turret set up, but just a small turret because that was all I could afford at the time. But ideally you want to have the highest possible level of turret you can afford, preferably the electric or the fire turret. Now up the top here I've also got a normal turret as well, but you'll see from this playthrough that they really won't have much to do during this wave, but they do help during a regular wave where you might get some enemy eventually taking out your barriers and coming through and trying to attack you. Now actually what you can see down below there is that the barrier where the sandbags are, you'll see that little health bar going across is now in the red, and there's actually a drudge. I can tell by the sound that it makes, the drudge is trying to get through that barrier, and that means that he's taking damage from it because it's an electric barrier. And actually what happens is he takes out the barrier, but it does him a large amount of damage, which causes him to mutate, and so he's got two head stalks or whatever you want to call them. And what they do, I can tell by the sound, by the way, you can hear them firing away. I can tell that he's mutated the head stalks at this point. There are two of these head stalks, and they will fire emulsion as basically like two mini turrets that fire emulsion from his head. And they're very dangerous. What they can do is they can take you out in one hit if you get hit by them. But once they grow those head stalks, the drudges are basically fixed to the spot a little bit like a tree. And that means that he can't move out of that spot. And I know exactly where he is. He's at the spot where the barrier is. And that's actually going to be helpful for me in this wave, because the lambent and the regular locust, they will actually attack each other because they're enemies. And I take out the berserker or the next berserker there. If they fire accidentally at each other, they'll start attacking each other. So he's going to kind of guard that exit for me from the other locusts that might spawn in below in the cave area, hopefully. So I'm just going to leave him there. In fact, there's no way I can get to him to take him out without leaving the spot that I'm in. And I'm certainly not going to do that until towards the end of this wave. So we'll just let him stay there and do his thing while we take out the rest of the locust that's spawning in here. Now as you can see, we're not getting any more berserkers spawning in that one spot again. There's probably one more, I can't remember, but there's probably one more around the side that we'll still have to deal with. And I'm just trying to take out the drudge here with the digger launcher to, in the vain hope that it'll somehow get through underneath the ground and take him out, but obviously it doesn't. And by the way, the digger launcher is actually really effective for taking out molars and stuff like that that might start rushing you. So now we're just taking out the one or two grenadiers and stuff like that that are going to start spawning in. And as I said, they're the smaller, lower value locusts that are left that are going to spawn in, because we've pretty much got to the point where there's a limited dollar value left as far as the type of beast that we can get. So that means no more big berserkers will spawn in, nothing like that. We'll just be getting the smaller, lower value locusts. Now when this sandstorm happens, you won't be able to see any of the enemy coming at you, but a little tip here, it's fairly obvious, but try and use your spotting technique, and that way you'll be able to spot where the enemy are even in the sandstorm and continue doing them damage where you normally wouldn't be able to even see where they are. Okay, so we get another Grenadier here, Grenadier Elite, and we've got a Mauler up the top right there. We're going to leave him for a little bit because he's not going to be any danger to us, as we said, across there. Now if you leave the enemy long enough, they will respawn in a different spot of the map. So some of those that might might be in the cave area, they might spawn in a spot where you can actually take them out and make it a little bit easier for you. So you just have to be patient because you don't want to start running around in solo because you don't have anyone to revive you for a start, and taking risks if you want to get through the wave successfully. Alright, so I think there might be only about 10 enemy left here at this point, so we're getting there, and I'm just going to be taking them out as they spawn in. So you'll get to know the exact spawn locations after a while playing this. In the spot where we're at the moment, you're basically going to see them spawning in the top right area, at kind of the back of the crane on the left and the right, far left as well around that corner where we had the broom axe in the last video, and far right as well around the corner there as well. And you'll get some spawning down below in the cave area. Also, the other spot that they can spawn in is just below the crane in that area underneath the platform. And that's probably the best spot for them to spawn in because you can take them out just by blind firing pretty easily when they spawn into that spot. Okay, this is our last berserker. He's come around from the side, and I'm just going to take him out. Thankfully he's not rushing us at this point. He's still kind of fixed in the one spot, doesn't know where we are. So berserkers will basically just run through your barricades like they're not even there if they spot you and they start charging you. So taking them out when they don't know where you are is really ideal. Okay, so I mean, as you can see, wave 50 does take a long time to get through, and some people have said that on insane difficulty it's taken them over an hour to finish wave 50. Now, I didn't take even close to an hour, but I can sort of see their point if they were playing super cautious, or they got the wrong type of boss or whatever. They weren't using if they weren't using some of the mutators, that could certainly be the case. But it only took me about half an hour to get through the wave. And this guy does take a lot of damage, but at least you can take him down just using your regular weapons. It would have been easier if I had the the flame turret happening, or if I had a scorch or something like that I could light him up with first. But certainly, easier to take down than a Lambent Berserker, that's for sure. Okay, so that guy's done. $1,400 right there. And I think we've actually got one more Berserker coming from around the side. So he will hopefully be the very last Berserker that we get. Now, talking about Horde mode in general, I've always loved playing Horde mode in Gears since it came out, and it's kind of similar in some ways to Call of Duty Zombies. Vaguely similar in that it's a survival mode game, but it does diverge quite a bit in how it's played, and the fact there's a limited wave number and so forth. It is very, very close, more so to the Modern Warfare 3 survival mode. Obviously, Horde mode came first. Survival mode borrows a lot of the ideas and concepts from modes like Horde mode in Gears of War. But in my opinion, it's just way, way better and more epic than Modern Warfare 3 Survival, because aside from the fact that you don't have, enemy air support coming in, I mean, maybe that could be something they could look at, with some gas barges or something like that. Although you do have Reavers as one of the boss types, and they do fly, at least until they land, but it's just way more epic. I mean, when you got these huge beasts, each with a different kind of tactic that you have to follow to take them down, and you've got a lot more scope in terms of your fortifications that you can build, and all of that stuff. The different types of enemy as well. You don't just have regular soldiers. I mean, they do have a variety of different soldiers, but they're just very sameish, and it's just way more fun, in my opinion, than survival mode in Modern Warfare 3. You have less weapons that you can use. That's one thing with Gears of War. You've only got your basic 3 types of rifle, and your 3 types of pistol, 2 types of shotgun. Although you do have your map weapons you can pick up as well. So I suppose all in all there is a lot of variety of weaponry that you can use, but there's not a lot of different types of assault rifle that you can use. But it's good fun. I really enjoy playing it, and it's just annoying when you're playing in a random lobby in Horde mode, because you tend to get guys who they don't revive you sometimes. Similar to the issues you get in zombies. The other thing is, if you get a command center, not everyone can unlock the command center, or has unlocked the command center yet. So if you build a command center fortification, you'll sometimes get guys who just come over and use it, and they get the kills for it when you paid for it, which is super annoying. Just the other night, for example, I was playing with 4 random guys from a lobby. 2 of them were really, really new. They'd hardly ever played Gears at all, let alone Horde modes. So I was cutting them a fair bit of slack. But one guy in the game, he kept coming up. I would buy a command center for the start of the next wave, and he would just basically use it at the start of every wave. He would melee me in the face, use my command center, and then just go off as if nothing had happened. So I kind of cut him some slack to start with, because I thought he might have been one of the new guys, and just said, look, can you leave my command center alone, please? Because I've paid for it, I want to use it. But then he kept doing it every single wave that I bought one. So I quit that game, sent him some user feedback, if you know what I mean. But that was pretty annoying when that sort of thing happens, and you get the odd idiot trolling you in the games that you play. The other thing is when people quit during the game without warning. You might get to wave 27, 28, they go down for the first time and then they quit straight away. It just puts everyone else that's been playing the game out when they do that, if they're the host or whatever. I prefer to keep going right through to 50, and I do understand that takes a fair bit of an investment in time in the game, but the least they could do is let you know. And all these guys have mics, but they very, 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 very few of them actually use them to communicate, which is unfortunate when you're playing Horde. I never understand why people don't communicate more. If they have microphones, it just makes the game easier and more enjoyable for everyone else. But there you go. I mean, these are the things you have to put up with when you're playing with randoms, and it's the same with any game, I guess. You have the idiots that you do get stuck in a lobby with sometimes, but most of the time people are pretty good. But in Gears of War 3 they have dedicated servers, and that has the advantages, obviously, of reducing lag and some of those connection issues, but it also means that you do tend to end up playing with the same people over and over again, and that can be a good thing. or it can be a bad thing. Alright, so we've just got the one guy left now in wave 50 here, and what I'm going to do is basically try and take out this guy. You may remember we have this drudge with the 2 head stalks stuck planted in the exit here from the cave area. So I just took out one of his head stalks there. I'm just being really cautious because, as I said, just one hit from one of those things will kill you. Luckily there I just got a little bit of splash damage. He didn't get a direct hit on me there. So I'm going to sprint through the gate and try and see if I can take him out from down the bottom there, or with one of the, you know, with a pickup weapon or something like that, like the digger launcher. I can't quite get his other head stalk there. So I'm just picking the right time to go through because I don't want to die when I got this far on wave 50. From this guy. I mean, it'd be good if I had a grenade or something like that, but unfortunately I don't. I think I've just got a smoke grenade, and that is going to do absolutely nothing. I hope that it's going to give me some cover as I run through here, so that's basically what I do. But I don't think he's quite got the angle on me anyway once I get down the bottom of the hill. But what does happen with this guy is he basically kind of teleports or respawns in when you move around the map. And what will happen here is he'll respawn in the top left of the map. And I won't even be prepared for that. I wasn't expecting it to happen. I'm like, what the hell? You know, it's like this guy's cheating on me.
Oh, just my bloody luck.
So I got the digger launcher here, got some ammo for it, and I'm going to try and take him out with this thing. We'll see how we go. I just have to be careful because he's going to be firing at me all the time here with his remaining head stalk. But I might do him a little bit of damage here, but I don't think I quite hit him with this thing. And that emulsion that he's firing is really dangerous, and even taking cover behind this this fairly solid wooden beam object, I am taking a fair bit of damage here, and I'm at risk of going down. So what I'm going to do is move out of this area and just move away from him and try and take him out from a distance. So I head down the side here and take cover here, but he does it again. He just freaking teleports to the other corner of the map here. It's like he's following me around the map, and the dude doesn't even have legs, you know what I mean? But we'll see how we go. I'm just setting up my active reload. That's why I was firing into that that piece of stone. Now we've got it set up, we'll take out that second headstalk and take him down, and that is wave 50 completed and Queen Mirror defeated. So I unlock a number of things from completing this, and that was really one of the best things about doing this, is you unlock an Onyx medal for the Horde, you unlock a number of other medals as well. You unlock the achievement. It's only worth 10 Gs, but that's for getting to wave 50. It doesn't have to be in an insane difficulty. So yeah, it was totally worth it. It was a lot of fun. It was very challenging. One of the biggest challenges that you'll find in Gears of War 3. Probably the only challenge even close to it is to complete all 12 waves of Beast Mode without failing solo, which in my opinion is probably almost impossible. But there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it interesting and helpful if you're playing Gears of War 3 on Horde 2.0. For now, it is S1ippery Jim out. Thanks for watching.